Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your host, D Rose. If this is your first time viewing the channel, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this video to help support, make sure that you hit the like button. Now, we have some great news out of the 2024 Cricket Celebration Bowl, which is the HBCU National Championship. The viewership was up 37% compared to last year's game, which the audience reached 2.1 and peaking at its highest at 2.6 million. Now, this is a huge win from the analytics side of it, and I mean, huge win across the board. As you can see that the Jackson State Tigers and the South Carolina State Bulldogs were able to get that type of viewership, right? And it being higher than most games, or the highest that it's been, right? Of course, you could think about the previous times that Jackson State had made it, when you had Deion Sanders patrolling the sidelines, you had Shador, you had Travis Hunter. It was a lot of star power, so the actual attendance for the game was higher than any of the other times since they have started doing the Celebration Bowl, right? I think it's major, and you just got to take a lot of things into account when you think about how easy it is to pull up your Fire Stick or just grab your remote and go to ABC and watch it. Unless you have a team like a Jackson State or FAMU or Howard, some of the schools that travel well and to get there, you're probably going to get a better turnout from a cable perspective, then you're going to get people in the seats. You got to have the real storyline, or maybe it's the first time a team has been there in a while, or the first time that they could actually get a championship. So it's a lot of different things that plays into the account of people going. You got to think about the economy right now. Trash. People aren't able just to have extra spending money to get a flight to Atlanta, get a ticket to the game. And they're not crazy expensive, of course, but that's a lot that goes into a flight, rental, hotel, game. And then you got to put it in the mix for the people that do celebrate the holidays. You have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. A lot of that money has already been allocated to something different. So even if your team made it, it's going to be easier and cheaper for you just to go ahead and either buy it, if you don't have the app, to download the app, watch it on your TV, and be cool, do everything you was going to do, eat, drink, whatever you do, right? So I think that makes it easier, but it's still nothing to kind of let overshadow that. The attendance may have dropped, but the eyes are still there. And a lot of people may have questioned, would this still be the same impact that you would have if a Deion Sanders wasn't in the mix, if there wasn't an Eddie George, some of the star power that comes from NFL caliber guys, Hall of Fame guys patrolling the sidelines. So I think this is huge. TC Taylor, major shout out. Him and to the Jackson State Tigers. Very, very proud program and very deserving, because a lot of people may have counted him out. He had to rebuild that from the ground up to get them back to where they were. The last couple of times they came up short, but TC Taylor just had that different itch. The boys was locked in. The game actually was closer than what the score showed, because they had 14 points took off of the board due to penalties. So it really should have been a blowout even more. So they looked well prepared. They were firing on all cylinders, had the crowd rocking. Of course, the band always comes to perform. And still, major shout out to South Carolina State Bulldogs as well. They looked good, but you could tell that they were rusty based on the layoff. Jackson State just came and punched them in the mouth. But nonetheless, great representation of HBCU. Jackson State represented the SWAC well. South Carolina State represented the MEAC. Like I said, there's a lot of great news that has came out of the MEAC. If you aren't following it, Michael Vick has inked the deal to be a coach at Norfolk State. I'm willing to see of what that impact is going to be, and how many other programs, especially HBCUs, are going to follow the kind of the foundation that was put down from Eddie George, Deion Sanders, NFL caliber guys coming back to coach. Even if they don't have the experience, I think they have that iconic feel that would make people comfortable with sending their kids there, because at the end of the day, if you're prepping them to go to the next level, what better people to do it than the ones that actually came from it? So let me know what you think in the comments. Again, major shout out to Jackson State, HBCUs in general. As always, long live CC. I'm out.